This might just be the best mobile controller you can buy in the market today. Full-size grips, tactile buttons, customizable triggers, and it can even fit your iPad mini. So let's talk about it. In my Backbone 1 review video, which I'll link down below, there was a comment about how Razer is coming out with a new mobile controller for your iPad mini, which obviously piqued my interest as an iPad mini owner. So I did my research and pre-ordered it, and I've been playing around with it for the past few weeks. I love playing games on the Backbone 1, but using my phone screen as the monitor felt a little bit too small to have a full immersive gaming experience. And now, with the Razer Kishi Ultra, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but you can even fit your iPad mini and play your PS5 games, basically creating your DIY PlayStation Portal. iPad mini screen sits at 8.3 inches, and the PlayStation Portal comes with an 8-inch screen, so they're basically the same size. The Kishi Ultra can still accommodate and play with your iPhone or various Android phones, and here's a quick screenshot that shows the supported phones according to their website. But to be completely frank, I haven't been using this controller with my iPhone since playing on my iPad mini has been such a better experience. And it does come with cushions that you can utilize to get the best fit for different size devices. Outside of being able to fit your iPad mini, the controller actually has a premium build quality starting with your Mecha tactile buttons, which basically means that it has a hybrid of mechanical buttons and a rubber membrane, which results in a very clicky and satisfying experience. I'll post a link down below to Razer's website that explains what Mecha tactile buttons are, a little bit more in depth. I can't stress enough how satisfying these feel when you're clicking on them, and I don't think listening to the sounds will do any justice, but here's a quick test of what they sound like. And I'm doing this because the mic is right here, but here it is. Hopefully that gave you a better idea, but I honestly think that these feel way better than the PS5 controllers, and honestly is one of the reasons why I prefer playing PS5 games using this controller. Moving away from the buttons for a little bit, they do have dual joysticks and other functional buttons which are all customizable, and on top of that, it has your full L1, R2 triggers, but it also has L4 and R4 triggers that you can program to enhance your gaming experience. I can't forget about the strips of RGB lighting running down the sides of both grips, which might be an overkill, but I do appreciate them as they add to the premium feel. The lights are customizable in its companion app called Nexus, which I'll talk more about in depth later in the video, and you can change the light's colors, the brightness, and even how often they change. It uses a USB-C connector to connect to your device, and it also has a separate USB-C port at the bottom that allows for pass-through charging for the device that you're using, and the control itself doesn't need to be charged as it uses the connected device's battery. Lastly, it has a 3.5mm headphone jack at the bottom of the controller, so you can plug in any headphones that you have while you're playing. So like I said, I've been using this controller for the past few weeks, and it's been very natural and comfortable holding the controller for long periods of time when I'm playing games, since the grips are bigger than honestly full-size controllers, and I genuinely prefer them over my PS5 controller like I mentioned before. I don't know if you noticed, but it has these cutouts in the front of the controller that aligns with where the speakers are for your iPad mini and your phones, so it redirects the sound towards your face, and I'm not sure if it makes too much of a difference, but I think it's a nice touch that adds to the game experience. I briefly touched on the Nexus app earlier, but you can find a dedicated Nexus button in the bottom right corner of the controller that will automatically launch the app. I complained about the Backbone 1 app when I was reviewing it. The thing I'll touch on is probably my least favorite feature of the controller, which is the Backbone app and the subscription service. But the Nexus app is basically the opposite of everything I mentioned about the Backbone 1 app. It's free to use, it's very snappy, has a clean interface, and most importantly, it actually provides you with useful information that enhances your gaming experience. You can create shortcuts to any games you already have, but it also shows you different categories of games that are compatible with the controller, which makes it way easier to explore and discover new games. And on top of all that, if you have found a game that you're interested in, it actually provides you with a direct link to the App Store, which is a nice touch as well. I didn't mean to make this video basically an ad selling Razer Kishi Ultra. Still don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but I genuinely love using the mobile controller, and I can't think of too many cons that comes with this device. I guess the first thing that I'll nitpick is the price. So it comes in at $150, and considering that the PlayStation Portal comes in at $200, which is just $50 more compared to the controller, and it comes with the screen already. And I can see this being a factor for people to not purchase this device, but for someone like me who already had an iPad mini, I liked having the versatility to be able to use my iPad mini as a genuine tablet, but also be able to plug it into the controller and have it as my portable gaming device. And the second and last thing that I'll nitpick is the size of the controller. Since it can fit the iPad mini, you can only assume that this will be bigger than most of the mobile controllers out there in the market, but I honestly think it makes up for it with its premium quality build, bigger size grips, and also tactile buttons. If you already own an iPad mini like me and you want to enhance your mobile gaming experience, I'd highly recommend looking into the Razer Kishi Ultra. And even if you don't have the iPad mini and you just want to have a great mobile gaming experience on your phone, I still think this controller is worth looking into. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you like this type of content, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.